What's up, everybody? This is Cool Dude, and welcome to another cool review. And today, we're going to be looking at the timeless 80s classic, Ghostbusters. Yeah, probably one of Bill Murray's most famous roles, and for a very good reason. This movie has held up extraordinarily well, but we'll get to it. We're going to get to the review in a little bit. But before we do, make sure you smash that notification bell, punch it in the face. But if you're going to blast it with your, little, vacuum cleaner, I don't know what they're called. I don't remember what they're called from the movie. It's been a while. But if you're going to shoot it with one of those, make sure you don't cross the streams. That was a terrible joke. I'm sorry. But anyway, let's get on with the review of Ghostbusters. So, basically, the movie starts off with three scientists, played by Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, sorry, I was trying to find his name, and Harold Ramis, all in a library, and they're looking for paranormal activity, and then they come across a very cool opening scene, though. No, I'm just kidding. They come across a librarian, but it leads to the most iconic opening scene, and that awesome theme kicks in, which, by the way, I'm going to point out how good it is even before we talk about it. That theme is iconic, and the theme, itself, just screams 80s, with the guitar, with the you know what I mean? Everything about that song just screams 80s, which is awesome. So anyway, they set up their organization known as the Ghostbusters, where, big shock, they bust ghosts. Kind of a no-brainer there, but yeah, and they meet Sigourney Weaver, who has her own bit of ghost problems, because they're not really getting any business. And she actually tells them about, hey, I have a ghost in my house, I'm scared. So they're like, okay, well, give us a call, we'll help you out. And, as the film goes on, the Gozer, this Gozer is a demon who wants to basically take over Sigourney Weaver and Rick Moranis' body, which, by the way, love Rick Moranis, great comedian, love him. And the rest of the movie is basically the Ghostbusters trying to stop these ghosts while also trying to stop this plan of Gozers from basically unleashing terror all over the city by just unleashing ghosts all over New York City. So let's talk about the pros, because honestly, I don't really know if there's that many cons to this movie, if I'm being honest, and we'll talk about it with these pros, so let's get to them. Pro number one is that it's held up really well as a story. The characters have held up well. The characters are absolutely hilarious and funny. I will say, though, they can feel a bit weird, but then again, this movie is a bit weird. The acting sometimes can feel a bit corny and cheesy, but then I'm thinking there's this green blob monster that eats trash, and there's a giant walking marshmallow. So honestly, I don't care. The action, for the most part, it's fine. It's cool. The actual ghost action is pretty fun when they do get to actually starting to bust the ghosts. I guess you could say it makes you feel good. See what I did there? Those of you who watched the song, get it? Get it? Please laugh! Bad joke 1000 aside, another good thing about this movie is it's really funny. I guess it kind of goes with the actors a little bit, but I think the humor of this movie just works great. Whether it be intentional, whether it be dark humor, because there is a few dark humor moments in this. Whether it be just goofy, campy, silly stuff, it's just great. And that's another pro, goofy and campy. This movie is just goofy and campy in a fun 80s way, and I think that's what really makes this movie elevate it so much, because it is so much, you feel the 80s vibe with it, because it just, everything about it, I don't know what it is, but somehow, I think from watching this movie, you can infer that it's from the 80s, because that's just how good it is. And, again, there's so many iconic scenes that's, I think that's probably the biggest pro of this movie is that it's just so iconic and so famous. I mean, nobody can think about Ghostbusters and not think of Slimer. They don't think of, all the classic one-liners. I love this town, he slimed me, all those other lines, and choose the form of the destructor. All those classic lines, all those classic scenes, that's really how Ghostbusters has held up so well. And it holds up well nowadays. And granted, some of the effects are pretty bad, but we'll get to them on the cons, which actually I think we should start off right now, because that's honestly, the movies, the characters are really good, comedy's good, theme song is excellent, it just screams 80s, just iconic scenes, iconic lines. So that's the pros. Let's just get to the very few cons that this movie does have. Con number one is Winston. I'm sorry, Winston was really mistreated in this movie and in the second one, and, I mean, he's fine. He's just, he's in it for like the second half, and it really does not make sense. I mean, I guess I can excuse it for this movie, but the fact that they did it again in Ghostbusters 2 is just, oh my god, it makes me mad. Anyway, but that's a whole nother video if we get to Ghostbusters 2. But so yeah, Winston's not in it that long. Also, con number 2, the effects have not held up well. Some of the effects, like, there's the scene where the Guardians, they're like the terror dogs, I want to say they are. They're like the terror dog. They're like with the red eyes and the horns. They're like running across the streets, and you can basically just see the green screen behind them because like you can see like some of the like walls are showing like through their legs and through their legs, and even like when Stay Puft is walking through the city, which awesome scene. You could see him like smashing through buildings. You could see some of his sides. It's just a suit because it's literally just a man walking around in a suit. It's kind of like what they did with Godzilla. You can see some of the lines across his body, so it's like, oh, that's okay. But honestly, those are just very minor nitpicks, because this movie is awesome. Ghostbusters easily gets 5 Slammers out of 5. I mean, you know, characters are great, story's great, the iconic scenes, lines, it's just, what can I say about this movie that hasn't been said already? It's just great. And Ghostbusters 2 sucks, but who knows, maybe I'll review it sometime, maybe I won't, but whether I do or do not, just know that Ghostbusters 2 sucks. And that's going to wrap it up for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like in this video, and let me know down in the comments what you think of Ghostbusters, because I'd really like to know, although I'm pretty sure most of you are going to love it, because everyone loves Ghostbusters. Well, not everyone. You get the idea. But until next time, guys, stay cool, and remember, if there's something strange in your neighborhood, who are you going to call? You know who. Bye-bye, y'all.